this story really grabbed my attention from the New York Times this week, and quite frankly, friends, it doesn't even sound true. But here we go. The headline reads, "Life Among the Ruins. Next month, the Temple of Baal will come to Times Square." Let me just read that one more time, friends, just in case you missed that. Next month, the Temple of Baal will come to Times Square. Reproductions of the 50-foot arch that formed the temple's entrance are to be installed in New York and in London. A tribute to the 2,000-year-old structure that the Islamic State destroyed last year in Syria. The plan is to construct 1,000 of these arches in cities around the world. Friends, what on earth is going on here? Through the satanic evil that is being unleashed across the earth through Islamic State, this evil has now manifested in these 1,000 arches being constructed to go around the world, starting with New York and London. Now let's understand exactly who Baal is, because references to the false god Baal are numerous throughout the Bible, and of course the well-known story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal found in 1 Kings, where Elijah calls down fire from heaven and proves that the Lord Jehovah of the Israelites is the one true God, is a very well-known story, isn't it? Now, Baal is the main god of the Phoenicians and is also identified with Molech. Worship of Baal was ritualistic, and people would gather around the altar of Baal and babies would be sacrificed in the fire as an offering to Baal, while the people would engage in bisexual orgies. Now, this activity was supposed to bring about economic prosperity. Friends, I'm sorry to say, but our culture today is engaging in the same practices, and now it seems that the spirit behind these activities is beginning to manifest itself physically across the earth in these archways being constructed. But friends, although this is shocking, it really shouldn't surprise us. Archaeological structures steeped in ancient satanic worship have stood in many of our Western nations for decades. Now, we haven't got time to go into it today, friends, but think about the obelisks that stand in London, Washington, Paris, in Rome, right in the centre of St. Peter's Square. Actually, Rome has the most obelisks in the world. But considering the seat of religious and political power that's being exerted from Rome, which is part and parcel of the revived Roman Empire as prophesied in Scripture, this should also not surprise us. Friends, there's more to these structures than meets the eye, and as I said, we're going to do a feature on this another time. Now, other archaeological structures are of course the seat of Satan and the processional way, or the gates of hell, housed in the Pergamon Museum in Berlin. Now, I've spoken about this before in End Time Hour, and I talk about it in my book Trumpet Blast Warning. Now, it was showcased in 1930. 3 years later, Hitler came to power, and as if lured by the satanic influence that it embodied, a grand reproduction was commissioned for his Nazi rallies in Nuremberg, and it was from the place of Satan's throne that Hitler delivered the final solution, what we now know to be the systematic extermination of the Jews in the Holocaust. And friends, if nothing else, this perfectly illustrates that the world is literally waiting for and welcoming the Antichrist upon the earth in this hour.